Hughley calling out Trevor Noah because Trevor said something controversial, and it kind of bounced back on Trevor. So here's what DL Hughley, who I love because he spends a lot of time working with causes and he gets the word out to our people. And people need to start listening to DL. He's a very smart guy. Here we go.
Stupidest thing I've ever. And first off, I heard enough from South Africans this year. That's enough. I'm like between Elon Musk and Trump. I don't need to hear about race from two dudes from South Africa. I heard enough. Black schools and HBCUs and our system exists. And she could have said that virtually about every system that exists in America, from policing to banking to housing. Every single one is inundated with white supremacy. All of it. So, and the thing that I find that I resent the most is that our story always starts in the middle. HBCUs came as a result of what we couldn't have. Everywhere we live, every black neighborhood is where we were told to live. Everywhere. Even school, like they want integration some places. I bet you wanted the Super Bowl because without black people, that shit would be rugby. So it's an interesting conversation to have, except that I think the outcome, I mean where she lands is a bit disingenuous. It's specifically, you can't just talk about education because the only reason you get educated is to indoctrinate yourself, is to be involved in those other systems.
My understanding was one of the underlying reasons why it was so important to integrate schools is because black schools were grossly underfunded.
And still are.
And still are. But by integrating, you're creating more of a level playing field where everybody's in the same school.
It should be the same.
What happened was whatever schools white kids could go to, when black kids started going there, they left and they took their resources with them. So they, in fact, became. Look at every school. Look at all the schools we go to that at one time, integration meant that we could come, and they left. Not only did they leave, they took their resources. So this notion that integration ever existed was wrong. White flight happened as soon as the integration started. And with them, they took their resources. So we still, in effect, have virtually the same thing.
I remember vividly the early 60s and seeing, people getting beaten over the heads with batons. I remember Mississippi and Alabama where they wouldn't let black kids into schools. It's better today. There's still racism, but it has gotten better over the years.
That is undeniable.